Hey guys! We're gonna have an extra person in our video today. Hi, my name is Judy, and this is my channel. It's called Yudico Awaken. Well, originally it was Yudico Awaken. Anyway, now it's Judy Awaken. And this video is actually a review of another person's channel and their video. So there's this really awesome woman named on YouTube, anyways, Gem Goddess, and I used one of her videos and I intuitively picked pile number 2 in her latest video, one of her latest videos that I think is also her best video. I'm actually a huge fan of Gem Goddess, in case you couldn't tell already. I really, really am. And anyways, I just thought it was so apropos and so perfect. It was really perfect timing. I don't know if it was just her intuition that was leading her or being such an awesome kick-ass YouTuber, but she knew the exact right video and the exact right name to put out at the exact right time. So it's called Blessings After Isolation, and I encourage you to go and find it. Her name is Gem Goddess. That is the name of her channel. She does have an actual name, but for the purpose of this video, let's just talk about the name of her channel. And the video was Blessings After Isolation. So the way that it works is she does usually a tarot reading, although not necessarily always a tarot reading. And sometimes she'll also put crystals on each pile. And whichever crystal you feel pulled to, that's the pile that you're going to choose. That's allowing your intuition to pull on to something, more or less. Or you can just go with the number and the timestamp. Personally, I thought, well, I don't know which one to go with, but I always go with 4. It's one of my magical numbers, which I realize I probably shouldn't mention on a channel. Sorry, I've got my dog over here. I've got my Michu, my original best friend with me. Yes. But she wants to get down. So the thing is, that's what I was thinking at first, but then I just heard pile number 2, go with 2. Okay, so I went with 2. And here's the interesting thing about it. You don't have any kind of clue, any idea what's going to happen after each pile. You have no idea which one is really right for you. It's just a timestamp, a specific thing that's going to happen, and you just dive in and you just find out for yourself. And that's one of the reasons why I love her channel. None of it is like amped up. None of it is because she's pulling information off of you. There's no it's not like she's getting data from different click-throughs or whatever. It's just intuition. It's just her being her. And I absolutely loved it. And here's the reason why. A lot of times, sometimes people feel like maybe any kind of divination must be bullshit because, anybody could know that stuff about you. Well, here's some things that nobody could know about me because I didn't even say it in any of my videos. And this channel of mine typically is leading people through on my life journey with me after quitting my modeling and acting career to take care of my mom and my dad for the past 5 years, to help my family through cancer. And now those 5 years are over, and I'm literally finding my feet again, and I'm starting from scratch. But at 30 years old, and with some pretty profound experiences I haven't known a lot of other people to also have gone through. So it really means a lot to me when there are these different channels where people are doing these really nice things for people, because it's like she's just doing something for you out of the goodness of her heart. The truth is, she doesn't show very many commercials on her channel, so it's not like she's making a ton of money off of it, because the YouTube channels that have commercials every couple of minutes, they're making money. If they have a banner ad, they're making money. Most of the time on her videos, there's very little of that stuff. So I applaud you, Gem Goddess, and thank you for being out there. Obviously, I'm a huge fan. Let's get on to what my reading was. My reading was in pile 2. And here's some of the things that were very significant for me. So I don't know tarot. I'm into runes because I'm also into linguistics. That's one of my things. It's one of the things that I'm good at. And so usually I do something called Odin's rune, which is the most simplistic and also the most powerful of the different runic readings for divination purposes. But she does tarot. I haven't seen her do runes. Maybe she does, and I just haven't noticed it, but I haven't seen her do runes. Anyways, she explains. So she has the first 3 cards, and for this particular type of layout she was doing, she had the first 3 cards, and she explains each card in its meaning all by itself, and then what it means when it's next to another card, so you begin to understand what it is that she's saying. So the first one that she turned up in the middle was Hangman reversed. So, or Hangman upside down, which it looks upside down to us, but it's actually upside up to anybody who knows these cards, which I don't. So the Hangman was right side up, And the sun card was also right set up. So on the sun card, there's also this picture. It looks almost like a child, sort of 16th century, maybe 14th century, a combination of both the artwork ideas and then the details of 16th century. So it looks like they were pulling from history or different sort of giant life events that other people back then might have known about. And it looks like a young child riding on the back of a white horse. So maybe a sort of young figure on a white horse, sort of like Godiva, but it's a very young child. And then there's these sunflowers that are opening up in the sun, and the sun has this very sort of almost godlike face, and everything is extremely positive in that picture. And it's turned upside down. It's still left of the hangman, so that worried me. But then on the right, there's the magician. So I always thought this card, because I've seen this card, anyone who's seen a traditional tarot deck would have seen this card, and I always thought that it was the King of Wands, but actually it's called Magician. And he's got a chalice on the table. He's got what looks sort of like a plate with the pentagram on it, and then he's actually holding a wand over his head, and he has the symbol for eternity also floating over his head. So it's like wand, eternity, chalice, and basically it looks like a very successful, triumphant, creating something, like he's successfully done something. And so apparently, according to her, the gifts after isolation for me, or what's going to be happening very soon after, basically means a change in perspective. So the hangman is now upside up, and maybe I was coming from a despair or from a really negative standpoint, and now I'm starting to change my perspective. It's the sun card, but it's upside down, so it's not quite as happy and exuberant as it could be, but it is still happy and exuberant. And the hangman has changed his perspective, and he's suddenly, like, his eyes are uncovered. He's being able to see for the first time. And then to the right, as in moving on from there, he is successful. He's created something. That makes total sense for me. And here's why it's so strange and so particularly wonderful that that's what she did, and why it makes me a total believer of her, even though I already was. And this is why I love Gem Goddess. This is why I'm suggesting her. It's because that is exactly that picture, the proliferation of those pictures and their meaning, and then their meaning together. It's exactly the book that I'm writing, and I haven't told anybody online that I'm writing this book or what it was about, until, of course, I commented on her video, because I always try to leave a positive comment whenever I can, if I have the time. Try and help your fellow YouTubers out, right? And if you're enjoying this video, just do me a favor and do like a thumbs up, or click the subscribe button, or even a bell notification, just so you know when another one of these come up, because this is what I like to do, is try to share with people out there. So maybe you didn't already know about Gem Goddess, and I hope that now you do, and you check her out. And if you do know about her and you're searching for her, then you have to check out this latest video of hers, because it's incredible. So moving on from those three cards, and that was the center, that was the basis for everything. She moves out to this really beautiful shape that she makes on the table, and it's like it explains a little bit further that last card, which is kind of almost exactly how runic readings work. So the center was telling you who you are and that you've changed your perspective. The left is where you're coming from. The right is where you're going. And basically, the leftmost card that she placed on the outside of the sun card was just reiterating joy, lots of joy. And on the right, after the magician having created something, we see the friendship card. And she was saying that she thinks that maybe from what she's seeing, there's a really good chance that basically I'm getting through a tough time out onto the other side with some very close friends that I've had probably all my life, and that our relationship is getting better, if not deeper. And I can totally see that. I completely understand that, because that is exactly what's happening. There were some different relationships that I had in my life that I thought were really at their max potential, that there was really nowhere else they could go. They were as great as they were going to be, and that was it. And then suddenly I'm finding with my oldest friend and with also both of my grandmothers that it wasn't it. There's so much more. And I'm really, really grateful there's so much more, but I had no idea. I also didn't realize just how deeply upset they had been with me. And we're like moving past that. And I think we all understand each other a lot better. And I know they understand me a lot better. And now that I can understand what they meant a little bit better, now I kind of get it. I kind of get, because I guess we weren't communicating as well as we could have. And now we are communicating a lot better. And there was always some sort of tension or something that was kind of lacking whenever we would speak with each other or see each other. There always felt like there was something that was missing. And now that part makes sense, because now they fully explain themselves. I fully explain myself. And we're spending more time together, which is really ironic during this time of isolation that we're all spending more time together. But I think that's really apropos of what everybody's going through. We're all spending a lot more time with each other in a really weird way. We're being forced to be thoughtful about how we interact with other people, including for their safety and for ours. And we're also being forced to actually really take the time to understand and appreciate our family and our friends or other people that are in our lives and appreciate them a lot more, because frankly, they might not be there tomorrow. And I think that's something that a lot of people take for granted, that there's always going to be people. Well, there isn't necessarily always going to be people. And so I think we're all making a 100% more of an effort to be with each other, because frankly, a lot of different people are not really comfortable with different programs or downloading things. And as silly as that sounds, many people are very uncomfortable downloading any new piece of software. And look at how many people have downloaded Zoom. Look at how many new people have downloaded WhatsApp. Look at how many people are downloading Roll20 and a bunch of other apps that maybe they'd heard about and they hadn't done, or that they had used before for work and they weren't going to use on a regular basis. I wasn't going to use all those on a regular basis. I'd use those for work. I use a lot more for work, but I wasn't going to use them just in order to talk with friends. But now I realized, why not? You know, I was kind of stuck in the way that I used to always speak with my family, because we've always been very separated. They've always lived on the West Coast or far East Coast, and I've never lived near them. But instead, I had to, like, you know, push a little bit farther and do a little bit more, and I'm getting so much back in return. And I think that probably all of you are as well, especially if you've been drawn to this video, probably you are as well. It's a really, really good time in a really, really weird way. It's a really terrible time for some. It's a fantastic time for others. I think for those of us kind of coming out of a shadow, it's a much better time. Personally, me and my family, we've been in the shadow for a little while, so this is definitely a better time. But anyways, enough about that. So the other thing she says is that she sees change in terms of something something being manifested, something actually happening. So there's, and specifically something physical, a major purchase. That is very, very interesting for me, because actually there's a couple major purchases that I need to make. I need to make the major purchase, a home and a car. So I don't know which one that could be, but that also makes a lot of sense, because actually I was just speaking with someone who's becoming a friend. I'm meeting so many people that are becoming friends really quickly, which is very odd for me. But part of the reason why I don't usually make friends instantly is because I don't go the extra mile and tell them extra, and I don't expect them to tell me anything extra. But I've come to expect that they will, and they do, and just share whatever it is that I need to know whether or not I should kind of let them in to one of the inner circles, and most of them are, which is really amazing and fantastic and wonderful, and I'm feeling very blessed about that. But so she said that there's going to be this big purchase, because one of the cards has to do specifically with physical things. So not just like, oh, we understand each other better, and so that's a positive thing. It's not like that. It's like a car, a house, a boat, some form of a very large purchase that's life-changing. Well, frankly, for me, just in order to purchase one of those things or have one of those things in my life would require a huge change or a huge shift. And I do think that's coming, and I do see it coming, and I'm very grateful about that. It's very interesting. On the other hand, it could be something to do with where I'm at right now. I recently just moved from my home of the past 13, 14 years. And I'm in a new house right now, but I didn't buy it, but I am on the lease. So that's also, honestly, that's a very new thing for me. I've never had that before. I wanted to, but I was too young. Now I'm old enough, and I am. And so that's really great. But moving on from that, one of the things that she saw, great achievement, was the card that went right on top of the reversed hangman. And great achievement has to do with the obvious great achievement. Well, she also said that with these two surrounding cards, that she sees a lot of creativity, and basically that when I stop trying to run away or stop trying to push forward to the next thing, and I just kind of get down to work right here where I'm at in this isolation, that I get a lot done creatively, and that I achieve something really great, probably something that I've been wanting to and that I've been putting off. And that would be both the book and my music. I've been writing music for a long time, but I've always been putting off a certain amount of work to put into the guitar because I was kind of uncomfortable with messing up and sounding really bad. But I've been just pushing through and just doing it despite the sound. Frankly, when you're first starting a guitar, it doesn't always sound great. Sometimes it sounds really beautiful, and then sometimes it really, really sucks. But it's those really bad moments that help you learn, and those really good moments that also help you get better. Both of them are very beneficial. And because of this, I feel like I know that one of those two things is going to succeed in a very big way. And I can really, really understand if it was the book and the guitar, because the book is something that I've always had all these ideas for, and I have all these basic drawings and sketches and bits and pieces of stories that I've written. I've always stopped, and what I'm doing is I'm taking my own advice. I usually give my students, because I'm also an art teacher, at least online, and I'm using my own art that I've never brought to a full fruition, and I just said that incorrectly. That I've never totally finished, and I've never been really happy with when I did finish. That's why I'm saying I'm totally finished. And I'm taking them all together and I'm putting them into the same story. And I'm changing my perspective on each of those short stories so that they can fit together. And it's a really, really big undertaking, because there's so far, you know, each single page spread, meaning here's a page, is a picture, and at least two stories that have been woven together that were originally short stories that each could have had 2 or 3 pages on their own. So it's both cutting details out and then sort of super copy and pasting different details onto each other. It's really complex, and it takes a moment for you to just put everything aside, literally everything, phone, computer, music, everything, and just start writing. And that's really daunting sometimes, but it's very, very, very positive. It's very good because you get really amazing, really creative, really crazy things out of it, and things that I wouldn't normally try in my writing or in my art. I'm trying, and actually it looks really great. It looks great. It sounds great. It's a great idea. And I'm wishing now that I just gone for broke, as they say, I just done it. And she was also saying from her reading that she saw that I was realizing that I had everything that I needed, and that probably on looking back after the isolation, I'd want to like stay there because I was having such a really great, you know, like things bouncing off of each other and everything. And that makes total sense. It's actually something that I've told a lot of my friends and family, that if you do isolation or you do hunkering down right or correctly, then not only are you alive at the end of it, but you feel more alive, and you almost wish that it wouldn't end, or that you would have a little bit more time in that space, because you can do so much with that time. You cut out all the fast from your life, you can get so much done. And there's so much stuff in our everyday lives we don't even realize really is fast, really is crap, and really is actually depleting us or slowing down our productivity. And when you're forced to stay indoors, this weird thing happens where you just get so much stuff done. Really, you can. But only if you have the right attitude and if you change your perspective. So it made me really hopeful, it made me really happy, and it made me really grateful for her channel once again. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. And I really hope that you guys get a chance to check out Gem Goddess, the YouTube channel, and that you watch her most latest videos, because they really are excellent. And another like a little honorable mention I want to do for her channel is she did a live stream the other day with this other guy who has his channel. I don't know what his channel is, but if you want to start getting into the more arcane kind of knowledge, as in really ancient knowledge that seems to be interconnected through all different religions and all different spiritualities, literally until date, from the start of time, from the time man or woman has ever written anything down. You might want to watch that live feed, because they, not that they meant to do this, but they drop a lot of different names. So if you didn't know about this particular if you didn't know about this particular book or that particular sect or that particular group of people, by the end of that live stream on Gem Goddess's channel from, I think it was 3 weeks ago now, something like that, you will. It was really, really educational, I think, especially for people who don't usually get into all this kind of stuff. So if you're interested and your interest is piqued, check that out. Anyways, I'm Yudi. Please, give me a thumbs up, click the like and subscribe button, and please, please, please press the bell notification. During this time, I'm not going to be constantly putting up videos just to annoy you, but more so just to help get you feeling energized and happy, just something positive and good, and hopefully fun. And who knows, maybe you'll actually learn something too. Who knows? But anyways, check out Gem Goddess's channel and click like and subscribe to my channel, please. Thank you. And if you liked this channel, go ahead and put something in the write something down below there, and I will mention you in the next video. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Hey, Carl, I'm glad that you're feeling better. Bye everybody.